All right, it is 6 o'clock. We will call this January 5th common council meeting order. Please rise. You are able. And join me for the pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're on All right, very good. We got a full crowd tonight, so we will get moving. Thank you. Clerk Treasurer Pryor, can you please call roll? Here.
William Moore.
Here.
Spencer Kingery.
Present.
Aaron Jerome.
Here.
Dale Stewart.
Here. All right, very good. Next item of business is going to be the meeting minutes for the special December 30th common council meeting. First, we get a motion on the floor. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any additions, subtractions, discussion from the submitted special meeting minutes from December 30th?
There's a typo in the date. December 1st.
The minutes were December 1st, should be.
Oh,
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah.
No, wait,
no, it's,
December 30th, we already approved the December 1st meetings at the 30th meeting.
that's what it's saying. In the body of the text, it's saying that we approved those minutes from December 1st.
Okay.
Yep, but that was the previous.
I'm sorry.
No, you're okay, you're okay.
No, sorry.
Further matters to be discussed with the special meeting minutes from December 30th. Here none, all in favor of approving the common council special meeting minutes for December 30th, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Gotcha. All right. Next item of business is going to be the department head reports. The board has been presented with each department either year end or the December department head reports. Without objection, we will enter the record that you have received those. Unless you guys wish to go through each one. Okay. All right, very good. Move on, how the funding is. Next item of business is going to be something that I am personally very excited for. For those of you that are not aware, that this evening we're going to honor a very special citizen within the city of Delphi. One that I have known for quite some time. I believe in 1998 when I worked for the street department. It's when you started clearing things out down there at the canal, and I gotta tell you, you make sure that you're a workhorse when you're down there. So Dan McCain is our guest of honor this evening. Dan has been instrumental in not only the city of Delphi, but I would say Carroll County and multiple counties throughout Indiana, right? So wanted to highlight a couple Dan's accomplishments before reading a proclamation and then also presenting him with a special award. So Dan has just recently was the Limelight Legacy Award, correct, in 2025, a couple months ago, right? He's an Eli Lilly Lifetime Achievement Award, a Wall of Distinction in 2017 for the Delphi Community School Corporation, Hoosier Homestead Awards in 2023. He received the Making a Difference Award in 2003, which recognized him for his local impact, which is again what we're doing this evening. Delphi Chamber of Commerce Award in 1998. Wabash and Erie Canal Restoration. Dan has led the efforts for, I would say, do you have a ballpark years?
Well, I came back in 1987.
87,
Involved in the
okay.
board then, yes.
So I was 11 years old, so that's, yeah, so, and it shows, right? So what it used to be to what it is today is the true testament to all your work. So the Delphi Historic Trails. Dan was instrumental in establishing a 10-mile trail system, which we still have today. Several throughout the canal, which we maintain. It was part of your vision, so thank you for that. The Interpretive Canal construction my goodness, that was quite a project. I was not a part of it, but I remember there was a lot to be done before we even put a shovel in the ground. So a lot of scoping and what was all there before we started the project and what you found probably afterwards, right? So, and then community education. Dan developed numerous educational and recreational programs that attract thousands of visitors to the canal annually. So those are just a few of Dan's awards and accomplishments. He's a huge part of the city of Delphi and the canal itself. So what you see today, I remember 1998 when we were down there clearing logs, it was, it had that, I don't know if you call it a moss, that filmy green stuff with kind of like a movie. It had barrels on top of it. And I guess you really didn't know what you was going to find in there, right? We used to kick a kickball in there when we were out playing around, and I said, I'm not getting it. And nobody wanted to go get it, right? Because it just didn't look healthy. And today, it's one of our biggest tourist attractions for the city. And that is a testament to all your hard work. And I know I certainly appreciate it. I speak for thousands of people, not only within the city of Delphi, but Carroll County, state of Indiana. So you've been a huge part of not only just the city, but for the canal and for everything. So with that being said, I thought it was fitting to honor, it's not fitting, it was 100% warranted to honor a small part of what Dan has done, because if I was to list everything, you guys better get comfortable, right? Because we're going to be here for a while and get some pizza and popcorn. So I thought it'd be the correct thing to honor you with a mayoral proclamation for today. If you can, after I get done with this, I'm going to have you come up here with me. I also have an award to present with you. So here is the proclamation. Again, this only names a few of the things that Dan is responsible for that shows in the city of Delphi. So today is the City of Delphi Mayoral Proclamation. It's honoring the dedication and service of Dan McCain. Whereas the city of Delphi is proud of its rich heritage, which is deeply tied to the Wabash and Erie Canal, once the longest man-made structure in the Western Hemisphere. And whereas the preservation and restoration of this historic waterway were made possible through Dan's vision, dedication, and tireless efforts of community-minded citizens. And whereas Dan McCain stands out as a pivotal figure in this endeavor, having been a founder of the Carroll County Wabash and Erie Canal Association and serving as its longtime president and now president emeritus. And whereas Mr. McCain's efforts, beginning with initial meetings in his parents' living room, led to the successful dredging, rewatering, and development of the Canal Park and its award-winning interpretive center and Pioneer Village, transforming a stagnant ditch into a vibrant community resource and educational destination. And whereas his work has created miles of historic trails, a replica canal boat experience, a preserved local history for generations and residents and visitors to enjoy, enhancing the quality of life and historical appreciation in Delphi. And whereas his exceptional volunteerism and community involvement efforts previously earned him the Indiana's highest honor for a senior citizen. I don't know how that got in there because you're only 35. So I apologize for that, which was the Golden Hoosier Award. And whereas Dan, through his dedicated efforts, was instrumental in acquiring, restoring, and facilitating the reinstallation of several historic bridges, including the iconic bridge spanning across the Hoosier Heartland Highway. Now, therefore, I, Cameron Yates, Mayor of the City of Delphi, do hereby gratefully recognize and honor Dan McCain for his profound and lasting contributions to the City of Delphi and the preservation of the Wabash and Erie Canal. Be it further proclaimed that in recognition of its over half a century of service, today, January 5th, 2026, Dan McCain shall be honored with the key to the City of Delphi, Delphi, Indiana, Carroll County. Dan, I can't thank you enough. Thank you for everything that you have. The page is old. Yeah, and it works, right? So Yeah.
Let me turn it over.
We'll get some pictures here a little bit, but Dan, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
well, I'm just as proud of the involvement with Delphi itself too, because I think back to some of the monumental things that happened over the years. One was very important to us at the canal. We own land, city owns land, we own some of the land in mutual interest. But this particular park was given to us initially by the furniture factory across the way from us. Peter's right. And they're all gone now, unfortunately. But anyway, back in the years when Sam Dywart was mayor, there was an opportunity to use money from the transportation department, which is meant for historic transportation museums. Guess what? We have a historic transportation museum, but there was no competition to speak of at the time because no other canal people were after it. Some railroad people and other particular phases were after money, but that's more competitive. And we got $1.5 million out of that. And it had to be under the sponsorship of the city, although the city didn't put any money into it because we were obligated to put a match together, and we were able to get the match of 80-20. And that started us off. Well, about that same time too was the beginning of our acquisition of land. As we grew and began to be more known in the community, there were people that would offer us, or we asked them about their land that was comprising the canal itself. One primary piece was Lloyd Vanscoy, who has the trail, who had the land down just past Pizza Hut, where the trail goes all the way down to Deer Creek. It's a mile. And Lloyd gave us that mile of land, and he was so proud when we had cleared it with kids involved and everybody involved. And we made that into a trail, and on a pretty fall day, we had a dedication that day for him. And of course, we had named it Vanscoy Towpath Trail. Well, he was a shy person anyway, but he was smiling and he was just really happy to know that we'd had a trail developed for him when he thought it was just absolutely wasteland. He said, nobody has any use for this land. Can't farm it, can't pasture, can't use it. So that made us a friend, all right, because during that next year, he passed away. And when we learned that he had, and they opened his will, he gave us another 26 acres of land plus $100,000. Believe me, that was our beginning. That was what actually led us to be able to get the canal center with the match.
So that was before everything down here then?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And yes, that was before. That was 1989.
Okay.
And we didn't open the canal center until 2003. So the other thing that I really am pleased with too is that the city was able to get a good sized grant to put in a flood control device to replace the failing flood control device down at on the highway. And that was so important because if you know anything about it, the day that we had our grand opening of the canal center in July 4th of 2003, I'm sorry. There a rain started. Anybody remember that? About 8 days later, we had so much rain, everything in the Deer Creek Valley and all was flooded. And we had almost got water into the canal center itself, brand new building, almost flooded it. And so the repair and replacement of that failing floodgate was the city's responsibility, and they certainly did it right, because now ever since then, never have had any problem.
Is that the one down by the, in that lot by Save-A-Lot?
Yes.
Okay, yep.
And then, of course, the other thing was that because of the city needed to be involved directly in the introduction of water, we had a marvelous thing where the stone quarry was willing to give us water, but they needed certain assurances, they needed contracts and so forth. And because our relationship with George O'Bear at that time, the lawyer locally, and his knowledge of all that, we were able to get a deal with the stone quarry that gave us 3 million gallons of water a day. You didn't realize that. When you look at the water, you'll say, wow. Nobody else with a canal has as clean of water as we do. That took care of some of that scum. So I really am pleased, and we've been able to do some things with the city that's been remarkable, and I really appreciate everything from the street department and the police and the water department and all of those that have helped us immensely. So that's my plus for you guys.
It started with your vision in a garage, right?
Well,
So-
it took a lot of time, a lot of work, a lot of elbow grease to get it to that point. But I want to thank that because it was something that, this is a community and we work together in this community. And it's because of that, thank you, Mayor, for your recognition of the things that have gone, but I'm humbled by the honor because I think there's so many other people that weren't earned this too. And I'm looking at some of the eyes right now that are very much a part of our Canal Association, and we're still carrying on and we're still growing. Thank you.
One of the key words in here is volunteerism, right? Which you are certainly a staple in the community for that,
Been a
so.
volunteer ever since I came back to Delphi, and I've been very proud of that.
Yeah,
Yes.
we are proud and very thankful, so thank you for everything that you have done.
Okay, welcome.
I will take this if you want me to do that.
Now, you can put it.
That in. I need to do that. So you guys want it, it's underneath that, that's right. Hey, the family want to say anything real quick? The stage is yours. Gender, your chance.
Well, it's all just a few words.
Absolutely.
So Dan was born and raised in Delphi, so he's gone for 20 years with his career with water,
Soil water
soil and
conservation.
water conservation. Then came back, like I said, and has been a volunteer for all these years and has gotten all of us to come volunteer. Because when we moved back here 32 years ago, Carl was from here, but I was from California, and Dan was like, "Oh, a young family." We had two little kids. Oh, every time he saw us at the canal, "Oh, a young family, we're so glad." So he's the one who just would attract all this other help. And his daughter has lived out of the state for years and years and years, but she has just come back and she is now on our board. And so Nikki, and our president of our board currently is Janet. Help me. Ayers. Yeah.
Your husband called me Jane.
I have. So yeah, it's a great group of people. A bunch of them are here today, and so.
Mayor, we just got a brand new log cabin, so if any of you haven't been down to the park yet, stop by there. They're
Okay,
putting the roof on, either later this afternoon or tomorrow morning. That's our next sort of project.
okay,
And then we'll be completing the stories on the other side of the canal, which tell the stories about women and tells a story about the Native Americans that were here and the true story of what happened, the good, the bad, and the ugly,
sure.
as the canal was built. So there's a lot of more stories to tell. And we just discovered the canal was actually used with runaway slaves coming up. So there's a historian in Illinois we want to pursue to tell some of those rich stories too. Because we have 1,300 kids that come here every year, many of them out of Indianapolis or some of the more urban schools. So we need to relate to children of color
Sure.
and young women and tell some of their stories. So it's just like a continual, we just keep uncovering these stories about the canal that we think was dead, when in fact, it was very much a part of our heritage.
Sure.
And it continues to
Couldn't agree
live.
more.
Well, and that cabin came from what county?
Warren County.
Warren County, so we are rescuing it, otherwise it would have been torn down, and it's from 1830. 1830.
Kind of what you've done to several, what is it, the Reed House? Case Reed House, that was moved from up there by the gas station, correct? I've ever seen that years ago go through town, so.
And the Coopers made a very, very generous donation for us to be able to use that for free.
So if anyone else wants to help donate.
$50,000 budget each year that we have to fundraise for. Only $1,000 is taxpayer money, and that comes from the township. So it's all open. It's used for wedding photos, park,
but everything.
very open to the public and we maintain it. We mow it, we plow it, we do everything for it at our expense. So
Yeah,
many
I hope-
people thinks it's a city park and
Because I think it comes up on Google as one of our, it shows up as one, which is probably the.
collaborator,
Yeah.
but we pay the bills.
So,
We'd always welcome a donation.
and we discussed that in one of our meetings we had with you, and certainly pursuing that. But one of the, last year I was able to host the Northern Indiana Mayor's Roundtable. So each month we go to a different city, and we had it at the Canal Center last year, and I had no idea the boat would be going through because it was just a nasty day. And there was about 50 some mayors there, and they go, "What in the world is that?" You know, because they didn't know about the boat. And I go, "Wow, I didn't know it'd be out." But so I got to explain a little bit of the history of the boat with NDOT and all that. But no, the board is dedicated, passionate about the entire facility, and it shows because in summertime we have people from the Abbey Levy Park that can't find a hotel anywhere. So they're going and staying in the little buildings that we talked about, which is interesting because there's no internet. So if you take an adolescent or a 15-year-old, you know, that has no internet for an hour, wow. So I'm certain that the family was probably thinking, okay, let's go find a Holiday Inn today. But no, it's neat to see the heritage down there and read all the signs. I love walking the trails and being a part of it. So thank you to certainly Dan, our distinguished guest tonight, but everybody involved. It is what it is today because of a lot of hard work. So from the city of Delphi, we're very appreciative of everything.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
And do one last thing.
Sure.
So working with Dan the last 17 years, I've been at several things where you're always celebrating everybody else. You're finishing something with 3 hip hip hoorays, right? Let's give Dan a hip hip hooray tonight. Let's do it 3 times.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
But no disrespect, but if we left, is it okay? Are you?
No, absolutely. That's why I wanted to put you first. That way, you're welcome to stick around for the council meeting, but I didn't know that would be something you wanted to do. So you're welcome to that. Yes, absolutely. And thank you, sir. Yeah. Yep, and box of stuff underneath that desk right back there, that'll fit right into the mold. And, yep, so.
Yeah. Hey, here's another guy right here.
Can we get a picture with you in the council?
No, me not very.
Thank you.
Thank you. We were just talking about. Wait, bro, I'm on it now. Birthday was down up there. So, yeah, we're just talking.
Thank you guys for contribution to our city. Oh my
Council
goodness.
surrounding.
Amazing to listen
You're
to.
staying right there, Dan. We'll take your
Yeah, we-
picture. Everybody will get around you.
We'll surround you. How about that?
Yep.
You want?
Yeah. Oh, you want to see the picture?
I just didn't want to have you. Yeah, where?
Yeah. Yes, grab that.
I got you right here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's your key, Dan.
You are welcome.
Okay. Ginger, you want to come over here on this side? So
There we
we can see
go.
you and Nikki. Okay, we gotta get a couple more in here. Okay.
Up front here.
I'm really close. Come on in.
Right up front.
Dan, want to come up here? I'll see Dale. Dale, can you go to the other side of Denny? There you are. Okay. Big cheese.
Yeah.
He is the big cheese today, aren't you?
All
right.
You know what? You can
Great granddaughter, Dora, he's a dog.
Thank you, here's that.
They're all moving back.
Yeah, absolutely. Or just environmental.
We're gonna, this part of.
Okay, you need help getting that downstairs?
Oliver's.
Oh, you look. Oh, really?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I can find all that.
I got you. You got it. I got it.
There's somebody else in there.
Hi, Jacob. Hi, Nikki. Thank you. Okay, I think we can, they're not just a little bit, I believe we can reconvene. We'll get going. Left off on the docket. Is Mr. Richard Houston here? Okay, he is not gonna make it, so we will put him on the February docket. He's gonna give a short presentation, but we will plan to see him in February. Okay, okay, very good. All right, next item of business are some beginning of the year items that we need to take care of. First item of business is gonna be for the council to select the pro tem. Again, this is a membership, so I will open the floor. Julie, did I give you that sheet that had the, yeah, so usually I just open the floor to, or give it to Spencer to handle this portion of the council pro tem for 2026. Do you have that sheet? Okay.
You're looking for?
No, that's one I had. It was a template that we used before. I don't know. It was not.
Okay.
Anyway, so we will open up. Do you want to take this part? Or do you want me to run? All right, I will open up the floor for nominations for 2026 Delphi City Council Pro Tem.
I will nominate Spencer King.
I second that nomination.
I have a nomination for Pro Tem for Spencer Kingery, who is acting Pro Tem. Any other nominations for 2026 City of Delphi Common Council Pro Tem? For time, I will open the floor up. Are there any further nominations for 2026 Delphi City Council Pro Tem? All right. Hearing none, all in favor of approving Spencer Kingery to be the 2026 City of Delphi Common Council Pro Tem, signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome aboard. All right, next item of business is going to be the appointment to the Delphi Planning Commission. It's a spot that was previously held by Sandy Flora. That's a new board that was put in place in 2023. The city council has one spot.
Do we have to reappoint for
We're going to go.
the whole list? Because there was 3 technical spots on.
No, they're all by year.
Okay.
Hers was the only one, this one's the only one that Deb said is open for
Okay.
2026.
What is the meeting schedule?
It's random. It
Yeah.
is very, very.
So I
random.
think, we
That's
had
the hardest part
two,
for me.
three or four, two
Two.
meetings in
Oh,
twenty
we
twenty.
did two?
Yeah,
I don't know that no, that was the BZA.
we
In
had. two-
twenty
we had two.
twenty-four, we
a
had,
Beginning one
two.
and then one.
yeah, so it's as needed, right? So if someone comes in and, it's basically just when someone has a project or the Board of Zoning Appeals, there's two separate board, this one's not for the BZA, but if there's nothing on that docket or anything submitted to Deb or the city, then, there's no meeting. So it's hard to say a set schedule.
But if it's only two, I'm happy to
Well, it could
volunteer
be
time for that.
12, right? We don't know. It could be once a month. We don't, if something comes in there every month, we don't know. So there's a
Yeah.
deadline that goes out, that's state statute for getting things in to Deb, our consultant with this, and it's all items that go in front of the board after that, after publication, public notice and all that. So yeah, you just don't know, honestly.
I will say that is probably I know we all have very busy schedules, but with my boys and my hair schedule, it can be a challenge when I have a very like random.
And they're usually at 6:30, I believe, 6:30, so they're later on in the evening, so. Yeah, we haven't had a whole, honestly, we've had less than 5 since this administration's been in place, so.
Denny and I already sit on it.
Yeah,
You guys are both on it
on
already?
the, yeah, so there's 3 council members that's on this board, and then there's 2. So I had that sheet and I don't know where
Yeah.
you should have it on the, I really sent you last week. Where the meeting's located? Right here. Yep. It's just one of those that.
Or if you wanna do it, I don't have a problem.
Hard to say.
I
when
mean,
we're gonna have it.
I'm happy to step in and do it. I'm in a position now. I'm happy to step in and take that on, because in the last year, I just did the transportation committee, which is a very low level.
Every 4
And
months.
I'm still happy to do transportation as well, but it's consistent, so
It's just replacing.
I'm happy,
Steve's phone.
yeah, I'll
So
I'll jump on that committee.
All right, consensus with the board, Aaron, do we have to vote on all these or is it just a pro tem and then consensus for the rest?
You're appointing, so you need to vote.
They are appointed, so.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, I make a motion that we appoint Aaron Jabril to the planning commission.
I second it.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Yeah.
Mhm.
This will be, you want me to just read through the list so you can continue?
Yeah, because I handle the pro tem, the rest is your.
So the next one is for the representation from the council to the Northwest Solid Waste District. Cody did that beforehand. Is there anybody that would feel like they would like to do it?
These meetings are in Monon and they, so the last couple of years, this board has been a challenge just because of, schedules like per se. So there were several of them last year that did not happen. I think they have some transition within their board and within their regional, directives. So I, spoke with their director last week via email and they are back on track. So, again, these meetings are, yeah, and Monon or Reynolds, one of the two, but they're.
Yeah, would you like to be interested in the ones Cody had?
I really wouldn't on that one.
Is there anybody that would be interested in doing the Northwest Solid Waste District?
This is another one that it's scheduled to meet once a month. It's a later on at night meeting, but if there's nothing to come before their board, my understanding that there's no sense in everybody driving to Reynolds, but it's a Northwest Regional Board, which is not something that's uncommon for several of the boards that the city of Delphi is a part of, so. I actually myself need to venture over there and sit in one of those. They didn't
I
have,
don't remember what time
maybe
those
we'll-
meetings are.
I believe they're,
Around 6:30.
yeah. I don't think they even had 5 last year because we just kept getting those that That would not happen, so, yep.
The city is not listed as, having representation.
We always have. Cody was, last 2 years, and I think he was
I think
the,
it's the last 3 years, actually.
yeah. Yep, and I still get emails from, Emily, yep. We got a new director, so yeah. So this is for the public, this board is with the city, recycling and the trash that, the transfer station out here, what we should be asking as a city is, what are we bringing to you, right? How many tonnage are we bringing as a city, and make sure that's reflecting what we're charging, for our user rates, but I never have been given a report. I asked Cody if he could get me a report, and he said, we don't have a meeting. So that's something that we need to be watching is, how much are we taking to you, versus the cost that the city's paying? So that's what this board pertains, is basically the waste that comes out of the city, so trash waste and recycle. So they have a facility in Reynolds, Indiana. This one usually don't get a lot of kids or a lot of people just say, yes, I want to be a part of it, so understandable, right?
Would you be, this says, it says citizen, I'm assuming that this is a citizens advisory committee that you're being appointed in with the actual board. Because the board lists the commissioners of the different representative committees.
So when I asked her, she said that Cody was a voting member,
Of the board or of the advisory committee?
the advisory,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah,
So
because they have their own regional board that's, kind
So
of
that
hard.
suggests that you could vote, you could appoint a citizen if you could find a citizen to serve in that capacity, but necessarily need to be.
I don't think we've had that in the last, since I've been on the board. I mean, if that's okay, I mean, it gives us more.
Yeah,
options.
if we don't have, anyone that's interested on the council, we need to put it out for interest, then
I agree that you should have some representation from the city in order to make sure the city's voice is heard and that you learn about the projects that the district is doing. But that would be an alternative to provide a volunteer member.
Anyone present? Very good. Anyone in the audience interested in doing it? Keith? All right, I guess we can table that nomination and just put it out for advertisement, see if anyone would be interested for it.
See if we can get old Brian Garrison to do it.
He would thank us for that. All right, next will be the appointment to the Transportation Committee.
I'd like to do that again.
You would,
Yes.
anyone else interested?
Nominate Aaron.
So for this board, the Transportation Committee is a board that, the city is a part of, as well as Carroll County. Carroll County Highway, we don't have an engineer that does traffic counts and a lot of things that the bigger counties and cities do. So Carroll County, is part of this under a grant through NDOT every year. We actually just redid our paperwork with this grant and agreement with Carroll County. I think the last time it was redone was in 2006, somewhere around in there. So it was much needed, as an interlocal agreement between, all the municipalities. So we have membership from Delphi, Camden, Flora, all the incorporated, cities and towns in the county all have some kind of representation. So NDOT's a part of it. There's usually a very low attendance, but but I love the board, but
So we have a motion from Denny Myers to appoint Aaron Jabril to the Transportation Committee. Do we have a second? Dale, second. A motion is second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Nay. Anybody opposed? Well, motion passes, Aaron. Congratulations.
Thanks. That's it, guys. Someone else can start volunteering.
All right, next up is the appointment of 2 members from council to the Delphi Redevelopment Commission. This was held by Denny and I for last year. I know Denny said he wanted to do it again. I would also like to do it. Is there anybody else that have an interest in it?
I make that motion.
Make the motion for Denny and I.
Yeah.
I have a motion and I have a second. Doyle, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
I,
Aye. Okay, just want to make sure. All those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Then you hire on that. All right. So last year you did the liaison, you just assigned them to us last year? At the beginning of the year for the liaisons to the departments?
Yes.
So
Yep.
we are up to that now.
Okay. And that's what I was looking for in my packet. So try to change this up from year to year so we don't have the same representation. Last year, Aaron, you had street and Denny, you had water, correct?
Mayor and water.
Mayor and water, yeah. So I don't know where I'm gonna put my sheet that I had, but we're gonna go through it accordingly. So we have the fire department, we have for public information, we have the council will have representation for each department within the city. So the airport, the police department, the fire department, street, water, each department will have a council member that essentially they check on. We like them to once a month or more to just check to see how things are going, anything needed, how's your budget, how's everything going, the common within municipalities to have some kind of representation. So this is a rough draft of what we came up with that was changing. So you did not have the same department as last year. I know some of you, like the airport, they have requested Doyle to stay on because they love the fact that he's there at every meeting and apparently has a lot of input. So left you there at the airport if that was okay with you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was the request of Ed Nick. He actually came in. So I have, so for mayor's office, Aaron Jabril, the clerk, Denny Myers, street department, Spencer Kingery, water, Aaron Jabril, because you had street last year, correct?
Yep.
Wastewater with Dick Van Sickle, Del
I'm
Seward,
doing wastewater, he's doing wastewater, I'm doing water, okay.
airport, sorry, stay with Doyle. Police department, Doyle, fire department, those are the meetings that Doyle used to be a part of. I had Kingery or whoever you guys wish to choose. So that was, so you did not have the same department as last year. So I believe we changed it from 24 as well, just to make sure that you're learning each department and seeing where their budgets are. And you know, that's an important part of the council is making sure that they know that you're there, one, for support, and two, if they have issues or if they're having budget matters, you know, that's why we have that. So if you guys wish to change any of those, feel free to. That's what I rough drafted a few weeks ago. So
Is everyone okay with their assignments for this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, Aaron will be on Merit Water. Denny will be on the clerk, Doyle, airport and PD. Me will be on street and fire, and Dale will be on wastewater. Everyone okay with that?
Yes.
All right, make a motion, we approve the appointments to the liaisons as described by the mayor.
Second. Second.
A motion second, all those in favor? Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
all right, that is all for the City of Delphi liaisons and department representation. Item of business, we are going to move on to the Delphi Main Street contract for 2026. The board has been presented with the contract. Nothing has changed as far as funding. We still allocate the same funds that we have in the past. Is Julia here? Yep. Julia, sorry, I did not turn that podium around, but do you want to come up and say anything to the board before they?
Would you like me to?
I would love for you to. Make this where you can actually. Face the problem.
Okay, so 11 months. Had the pleasure of working with the Delphi Main Street Board. It's been a pretty amazing year. I think you've noticed several things have happened. One thing that I thought was really cool is we had $87,580 invested in facade improvements just last year. So that was a big deal. And so we budgeted to do that again this year. So we'll do what we can to see more improvements in the downtown. We have Christmas lights again. Yeah, so we had a lot of activities. We have a big planning meeting Monday night. It's the annual meeting. Anybody's welcome to attend, but we're planning on trying to have an event pretty much every month. Just ways to bring more people to downtown. So a lot of the funds that we use from this contract go into marketing and promotions. And also helping with some of the video work we've been doing. We've seen a lot of improvement, so I think I reported in my year-end report that we had 611% increase on social media of interactions. So, yeah, we really focused it quite a bit. And our engagement and follows, we nearly doubled what we had when I started. So we have a great board of directors. We're expanding, great group of businesses. So we appreciate the support.
Before I get into discussion, let me first get a motion on the floor. Is there a motion to approve the 2026 contract for services for Delphi for fiscal 26?
So moved.
Second.
Brew. All right, anything further, Julia?
No, I can't think of anything. These, of course, are edit funds, so economic development funds. So that's how this is funded.
And what day are your guys' meetings on every month?
On the second Mondays. And so we'll probably continue doing that.
And are you
adding-
still doing it at
At the senior center
gotcha,
or community center. Yep. That's the idea.
awesome.
All the, the trunk or treat, all the,
Trunk or treat, Mardi Gras.
all these little
4th of
pockets.
July.
Old settlers.
Yeah, that
I mean, the list goes on. So this board is
Yeah.
amazing and
Yeah,
again, to volunteerism, they
yeah.
put a lot of time, a lot of effort and the awards show. If you come through here on a Friday night, I mean,
Busy,
especially
yeah.
during Christmas this year, I didn't get to see
Fun.
a couple of the events you did with Santa. I got to watch a couple younger
Mhm.
kids sing some karaoke, but it's just a neat atmosphere and that's all because of Delphi Main Street putting a lot of time, a lot of effort into what they do. So the rewards are showing. So
We're already working on restaurant week, so we have so many amazing restaurants. So
isn't next month the Mardi Gras?
Mardi Gras is in February. Yes, but we're working on something called Devour Delphi. So we, as you know, we have amazing restaurants.
Yeah, it's another neat part of
Yeah.
like the creativity with the titles and the themes and all that. So
But we do, we appreciate your support.
any questions from the council for Director Juliet Leahy?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any discussion from the board prior to vote? Okay, hearing none, all in favor of approving the contract for services for Delphi Main Street for fiscal year 2026, signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
All right, very good. Next item of business is going to be the updated employee handbook. This was a project that Clerk Treasurer Price took on. We did some updating, gosh, I don't even know what to say when we first seen it. It had a lot of red. It was a Word document that had a lot of red line because it was extremely outdated. We worked on that in 2024, going to conferences and learning some things that we need to do as a city. Julie has put a lot of work into this, and I believe that everything that you guys have in front of you is essentially the state code and coverage for things that we did not have, and it brings us to the current level of what we should have according to the whoever that speaker was down at the summit. So I'll let you take the floor and give them a brief overview of what this entails. And
so a lot of our policies didn't have state and federal statutes met inside of our manual. So they gave it a whole facelift and they put everything in there from whistleblower policy to compensatory time, FMLA. There was like some things with FMLA that was more questionable. I know like time off and, like policies that each department needs to be meeting. For equipment and these employees, and then like they outlined it, so everything that was state was highlighted in yellow and anything that was required by federal was highlighted in green. And then she, with the ability to be able to change any of that stuff, if there's something that we see that needs changed, they automatically will update it every year for us for a very minimal fee, which was what was included in having them do it. So I mean, if they're gonna outline it and they're gonna update it to match every single thing that changes state and federal, I think that was a very good call to go ahead and do that, so it covers us. So it was in a class that was called Protect Your Assets, and so that was one of the things that sparked it. Making sure that we are following those guidelines for state and federal guidelines.
That there were several clerks in that session that we attended at the summit that were,
500.
yeah, that were going, oh, you know, so there's a lot of things that it's not just the smaller cities of Delphi, but it's a lot of municipalities did not have a lot of things that were needed, and hopefully everybody left that session and made some changes, and we certainly recognize that we were one of them, and thank you for your work on that. I know there's the ever world changing of legislation and all that stuff. They're willing to update it, and there's so much of it every single month and year that it's never ending battle.
I will say one of the things in the policies that, cause Amanda does our payroll. So I had her look through there as well and had a second set of eyes on things. There is one thing in the vacation area that they put in there that we can question, is that people could use their vacation 15-minute increments. We've never, like, the city has never done that. So that's one of those things that we need, yeah.
Well, I think that we were talking about that the other day.
Vacation and PTO, so.
Right, PTOs and comp times, they, you know, but vacation, we don't do 15
It should be.
So full back.
I think it should be, you can use an hour vacation because the vacation time's listed in.
Yeah, I don't,
Yeah.
like the 15-minute thing was.
Yeah, I think it should be an hour
And
increment.
all of those things are subject to change because that's just a draft. And so they will do the final if there's anything that you think that you want to change. And that was one of the things that was brought to our attention.
Well, there were 65 pages.
And you certainly don't have to vote on it. This was just to get in front of you guys and
But I will say that
tweak the things that you feel needed, so.
I saw a lot of things that made more accountability. Especially with holidays and vacations and that sort of thing. So you don't just take a holiday and then not come back to work the next day. I agree. Everybody tries it.
Yeah, there's from 2024, when I first looked at the handbook that we had in place, it definitely needed some updating, but that was the theme from everybody that was in that meeting. Was there's some things, and you guys can look at it accordingly and see what changes you would like. Again, this is everything that's highlighted was color coded, and it's not something that you have to vote on this evening.
Give us a deadline so that way we're not dragging this out.
Yeah. You know what, I'm just gonna say the sooner the better, so if we can like look through things and possibly get it passed for February, that way we can get the brand new, like.
Finalized
version,
document.
yes, out to the
The
staff
employees.
at the beginning of the year, get it implemented and get it out to the staff and have everybody sign. I will say in the version that is sent, the blue like highlighting were changes that we question. So if you go through it between now and then, there's something that you see that you think maybe we need to question, highlight it in blue and send it back to me. And if you want to copy paste or whatever and just send it back to me and we can
I
question
think I
it.
discussed with you what my ideas were, so I think I'll just go through, instead of highlighting it, I'm just gonna put what sections in, what I think it should say, then we can all talk about it in the February
Yeah,
meeting.
if you can make a separate list of things that where it's at in the
And
manual.
there's a possibility also to the lady that is from the HR that did the policies, like we did a Zoom. And so I think that before we finalize it, we have one more Zoom. So if, you know, you feel like you want to be in that meeting and you feel like you have questions for her, she can answer those. They're very, very good. That's what they do.
Yeah, she
I mean,
was
40 plus
for sure.
years of doing HR stuff, so.
Yeah, so if you have anything, suggestions, if you guys can highlight the page, the section, the title, to where we can accumulate it and then present it at the February 2nd council meeting for you guys to discuss and then move forward or whatever you choose to do. But that way we can keep it simplified and know what section of the manual to look at. Any further discussion or questions or discussions on the proposed updated employee handbook? No. All right. So no action is needed this evening. We will table that for February. Next item of business is going to be the proposed 2026 Delphi Code of Ordinances. This this is every year, every ordinance that's passed basically gets rolled into the years past. So everything is put into what's called codification, to which it's all one manual, it's uniform and tells, there's some ordinance in there from there's some in there from the 70s, right? So it just every year it reverts into one ordinance called codification. Our legal team put together this year, which is all the ordinances that were passed in 2025. Everybody had a chance to look at the code of ordinances, so we will move forward with the proposed ordinance. That being said, is there a motion to approve proposed ordinance 2026-1, which is adopting the codification of the 2025 ordinances?
So moved.
Second.
Myers.
Aaron, second.
Yeah. All right. I have a motion and a second. I will open up the floor for discussion. And this is for the proposed ordinance 2026-1, adopting the codification of 2025 ordinances. Discussion from the board. All right, here none is, what's that?
That's a pretty simple.
Yep. All right, here none, all in favor of approving proposed ordinance 2026-1, adopting the codification of the 2025 ordinances, signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Carries. All right, we'll revisit that for second reading in February. All right, that is all of the business items for this evening, which was quite a bit, and then had a little bit out there, but not much. Future business and announcements, with it just kicking off the 2026 year, we got another busy year. Julie, anything big on the radar for Delphi Main Street that's before the Little League Parade, I guess, in April?
Right, Mardi Gras should be, I believe, February 21st. So watch for all the fun with food that everybody's in.
Good. Got a lot to get through again. Senate Bill 1, the animal that developed last January. Had Baker Tilly here last year to give us, but I requested a simple overview for what that's going to bring the city of Delphi. What it is bringing every municipality in the state of Indiana is a lot of challenges. So I have asked our AIM team to come in February to give us a more in-depth, thorough presentation on. We couldn't cover everything in one council meeting, but to give us a better idea of what Senate Bill 1 pertains to and the effects that it can have on every city. So we're diving into a lot of legislation meetings. They're in session. They started today, but a lot of amendments, but there's a lot of amendments to be made. So I will keep everybody posted on that. And again, AIM plans to be here for the February 2nd meeting to give us a better review than the brief one that we had last year. It changes so much. Literally, every month we're getting changes and things that we're, all the mayors throughout the state are every day meeting on. I don't think there's been a day that we haven't met. One way or another, just each city's different, right? So Mishawaka is different than Delphi, but one way or another, it's gonna affect every city. So I will keep everybody posted as we go. That is all I have. Any board comments?
Anything
With that?
on anything or just?
Yeah. I don't, I gotta watch how I answer that. Yeah, anything pertaining to the city of Delphi. Yes.
Well, sewer, member of the council.
Dale Stewart, our council one.
Maybe you can just tell.
Yeah, you wanna give us give us or the crowd a rundown or speech or?
I'm just back to fill a term that, I was here 4 years ago, or 6 years ago, for a 4-year term, so I'm just back to, fill out this term and do the best I can.
Anything else? The floor is yours.
Well, I do have a couple questions.
Yep.
Is it
Yeah,
time?
this is a board comments and so by all means.
Steve, I had a question about your report. That covers December of 25, and it indicates how many citations your department wrote and how many written warnings there were. Down at the bottom, it says code enforcement. All those numbers, what do those numbers mean? Are those tickets or warnings, or what do they mean?
Well, that was activity by the code enforcement. So that was a year-long code enforcement activity. Tall grass are 87 tickets and contacts. And outdoor vehicles, 49 of those. Exterior structures, 5 of those. And trash, debris, there were 36 contacts on that. Trash containers, 9. Public nuisance, 12 of those. 1 animal contact regarding that. Some of those may be tickets. Retaining wall was one of those as well. So for further explanation, I have to go to the code enforcement officer to explain that in more detail.
So that's not for December, that's for the whole year.
That is correct, yes.
Okay, okay.
I requested, I requested the year-end report. A couple of the department mentioned they took us one, we had just a December, but we'll make sure, and it's standard that we get a fiscal year report on each department. I think there was, I believe it was Greg or Aaron sent me his December, so kind of hard for him to give I guess he could update us on the CCMG and all that, but the goal was to get a yearly report and make sure that you guys had eyes on it, so.
One last thing. Being new to this, and it's different technology wise than what it was 6 years ago, is it common practice to get everything the day of the meeting? Or the reason I abstained on anything with a vote that had prior material with it is because I never got any of that.
Yeah,
So how's that work?
usually they go out the Friday before.
Okay,
We put it out to the council emails, which you have been assigned, and it also gets uploaded to the City of Delphi website. Yeah, so everything,
it did not come to my my email.
it did not come to your city email.
No, I have another email that I would rather use.
Everything that we send, council related, each member is assigned a laptop. You don't have to use a laptop, but the city email is assigned for city business, and that's where each council member gets their.
You can download, cause I prefer not to use the city's laptop. I'm an Apple user, so it feels weird to me.
Yeah,
I downloaded Outlook on my phone.
okay,
So if you download Outlook on your phone or whatever laptop or device that you use, you can get your city email through that, and then you'll have access to it.
Did you get an envelope that has?
Yes.
Yeah, so that password is good for 14 days, and
okay.
it walks you through. You will have initial password. You can change it to whatever you want. Yeah, if you want the laptop, you certainly welcome to, but that email should have everything in there from today's meeting, and that's where each member will get their information, and it's as quick as we can get on a Friday, so we have it out to you guys. That's everything is still coming in. If we can get it to you sooner, we will, but that's usually things are getting finalized up for the Board of Works, which claims and APVs, that if we can get it to you before Friday, by all means, yes.
Now, who sends that out? Do you
I do.
send that?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a different email that I'd like mine sent to, if that's okay.
I don't know that, if it's not a city email, that's who we send it to, is the city emails. We purchase those for the council.
Can you not send it to a separate email?
I recommend if you don't, the official public email for the council members is also so that the public can contact you individually if they want to.
Mhm.
That also is for Freedom of Information Act, Access to Public Records Act. The city can choose to send you information based upon an assigned email, and that's the one that they send it to. The city is not required to use a personal email for public business.
Is there a reason why you don't want to use this city email?
Yeah, I
It's
just,
all under
I
our
like to
brand.
keep everybody, I like to keep all my stuff under, for the city, under this email that I established like 7 or 8 years ago.
Okay, well, this is council related. This is all stuff that's gonna come from the city council board. That's,
So is
You
mine.
can, you can,
So-
what you can do is also go through and once you get it from the city email, you can forward it to your personal email, so you have it. But everything's, I mean, it's an extra step, but it's there.
yeah, if you want to take it from the email that was established for council one and then forward it to your other email, that's certainly you're right to, but everything goes to the emails that was produced for the city council. That's what I send everything to, and that was before.
Well, and there's also an issue with security over that. The emails that we get.
Yeah, so we have brand, which is our, that handles our phones, our laptops, all our technology, and we have domains, we have password protection, there's two-factor authentication, there's all that stuff because we're a municipality, which several cities have been hacked. I don't think that's any surprise to anyone. There's just a lot of security issues with everything that we do in the world of technology. So of course, that's another reason why we have a city domain. We changed it last year from .org to .in.gov, which was a more secure. So again, everything's just I think there was a couple mayors ago that was in a seat that the city did get hacked. So all those protective measures are there to just keep our city domain, and that's why we send everything to city assigned emails. Any other questions or comments, Jeff? All right, very good. Any further questions or comments from the board? Treasurer Price.
Reiterate from the board work meeting that our new recycling and trash calendars are available. They were mailed out. So if anybody didn't get one that has trash service in the city for recycling, they're available in my office, extra copies, and they can also be seen in the information. It's just inside the door. So if it's after business hours, there's some there as well.
It's on the city website now.
Are they magnetic?
Which
No.
also the dockets get put on the website, which can be downloaded as well.
We will.
Person. Anything else? Treasurer Price?
Yep. That's it.
Miriam,
Nope, nothing tonight.
public comments.
I swear it's not my camera system.
What's that?
You know how I feel about clock cameras, already on record twice. Lauren Murphy for the record, MURFREE. You mentioned code enforcement, which I have a question about that too. How is the money being allocated from code enforcement on those tickets? Does that go into a city pocket for general? There's home repair related or something like that? Just
Really
wondering
wanna
how that
answer?
money's done.
You wanna answer
So those
that?
tickets go back.
Cause I think like it, just personally as a, taxpayer in the county, it'd be lovely if it looked like code enforcement for someone's house and the issue of their house or low income, having an ordinance officer to go and ask and if you have assistance or something, if you have a general fund that's allocated to use that money for that reason, I'd love to understand we're a shortfall with SB one, but just wanted to throw it out there. Also with SB one, there's a lot of bills up the state house right now related to try to mitigate some harms of SB one. They're working with AIM. Is AIM really the main entity you're working with at the State House for lobbying on this, or is the city doing anything related to SB1 or session?
So AIM is our representation.
Okay, I just want to know if you all are doing individual advocacy
Yeah,
down there.
You know, I attend, so I just attended the second institute. So there's 2 to 3 institutes each year. Essentially it was almost all Senate Bill 1.
Yeah.
So, I don't do the lobbying and all, that's all separated from the city. I go down there, represent the city as a mayor with 60, 70 other mayors and legislation. We go to the State House, we talk to so that part, we meet and then form our questions and then go talk to our state reps. I talk to our state reps quite a bit on not just the city of Delphi, you know, issues that we may have, but just the per se, it's hard to read it because it breaks us off and it's even confusing to some of the state legislators. So they have done a great job of making corrections on it, but we still have a lot of work to do. And that's what we have been making several visits to the State House and just trying to put our input and our concerns for the city. So.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear y'all working with AIM and I just want to stay encouraged for that's great. And I hope you keep around and educating.
Be heading down there next week.
Yeah, I'll be down there this week. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Any further public comments? Nothing from you today?
No.
No?
Good.
Okay.
Good job to, did you guys do the, train tickets or?
We did.
I love that idea. It was really cute.
Thank you.
Polar Express.
The Polar Express, we had 780 tickets turned in.
Wow.
That means that's how many places were visited.
Okay.
There are a lot of businesses I didn't even know were in Delphi on that ticket, so I visited quite a few new places.
Good. All right. Any further public comments? There's just one last motion. Motion to adjourn.
Okay.
All right, I have a motion. Is there a second? Second. All right, I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Yes. Meeting is adjourned at 7:12. Thank you.